Hi, I'm Dallas Downs, and I'm presenting How to Blow the Whistle with examples from James Alderson. The first step to blowing the whistle is approach your immediate supervisor. It's really important that he knows of the circumstances that are taking place and that he can help you to deal with them. The problem is a lot of times your immediate supervisor is the one asking you to commit the fraud or do something that's unethical. It's good to have in writing kind of what's going on, and a lot of times it's best to send your manager a memo telling him of the circumstances and keying him in on it. The second step is taking the ethical issue to your family and letting them know of the circumstances that are going on at work and how you don't feel well about it. And it's good to hear, if they feel that it's an ethical issue rather than just something that you disagree with. James Alderson, in his circumstances, he worked for a hospital and they changed management, and he had a boss that wanted him to keep a second set of books for expense accounts so that they could send that into the government differently than what was actually taking place. He instantly said no and thought it was a joke at first, but realized that no, it was a serious matter. But he was able to say no, and he thought the issue would go away. Later, in a meeting in Alaska, he met with the same manager, his new manager, and he was fired there because he was not going to take on a second set of books. At that point, he took it to his family and let them know that the circumstances that were taking place during work. The next step is take it to the next level. This is making sure that your manager's manager knows, and a lot of times it's good to approach your manager and ask him if it's okay if you talk to his manager or if he'd join you in talking to him. That way they're both knowing that you're serious about taking it to the next level. The step after that is conducting, talking to your ethics officer in the company, if you have one, or just contacting the hotline or number that you can call in to make sure that they're aware. This makes it so that they can deal with it the way that they're supposed to, and the ethics officer will know how to take it from there. James Alderson talked to legal counselors. He kind of bypassed all these steps because he was fired, and he just went to the legal counselors after that, which leads us to our next step. And that's considering going outside of the normal command. And that's what he did. He went to the legal department of the hospital, and they kind of laughed at him. They said, "What are you doing? This isn't a real case. We've always done that. Lots of hospital management companies do things like this." And he was like, "This is not correct." But in step 5, you can contact legal, you can contact internal auditors, you can contact HR if it's like a sexual harassment thing or anything to do with that. It's best to go to the department that actually goes along with the ethical issue that's taken place. So those are the departments that are normally contacted. The next step is go outside of the company if needed. So if the legal department, in the case of James Alderson, laughs at him, he went to the next level and took it to the Attorney General by filing a lawsuit against the hospital administration and the hospital company. And that's what happened, and he got caught up in that for years, trying to figure out if it was legal what they did, and he was finally able to prove it. And because there's kickbacks from anyone that goes against the government of 15 to 30%, he was able to get a payment of $20 million because he was able to help out with that and prove that the hospitals were ripping off the government. The last step is leaving the company. James Alderson kind of didn't have that choice. He was fired, but if you're in the circumstances up to this point and you're being pushed to do unethical things, it would be better probably for you to just get that off your conscience and leave the company. If not, then you need to be able to deal with your work settings, and it's really hard to be in a work setting that you just don't like and that you know that you're being pushed to do unethical things and people are doing unethical things. So it may be best to just quit the job. And like I said, James Alderson, he never was set up in these circumstances. He kind of said no up front, and they knew that he was serious about that, so they just fired him. This is my presentation, and thanks for listening.